Hi, I just saw a couple of videos about John Brown. He lived, and in 1859 in the United States, he was against slavery. So much so that he took up guns and was caught, apparently trying to free some slaves. He was taking them from Missouri to Canada, I believe. Something like that. He died. He was hung, or he died by hanging. However, I admire him because apparently two of his children died. Two boys. They were with him when I, I think they were with him in the trying to free the slaves. He brought up some points that any slave owner could grab any slave. He doesn't say black person, but any slave, and shoot him right there, and the government or the authorities would do nothing to the slave owner. So what I liked about him is that he believed in something. He also said that he believed that vengeance was God's. And if I get his words right, he wanted to do something. He wanted to do something for the one time when he was a child that he didn't help a black boy that was hit with a shovel and things like that. So as a grown man, he saw a white preacher that wrote something like a pamphlet or a newspaper about freeing the slaves, and the mob, most likely of white people, burned his building to burn the printing press. And when the preacher came out, they shot him. So those things happened, and John Brown decided to help the slaves with violence. This brings me to Gandhi. If you want to achieve something, you must be poised like Gandhi. You must control everything: your tongue, your fists, everything, your hands. And then you will be able to conquer yourself and at the same time persuade other people. In Gandhi's method of nonviolence, many people died because they believed in Gandhi's ideas. A lot of these Indians from India, right? Gandhi was from India. These Indians that followed Gandhi, they received death for believing in Gandhi's method of nonviolence. This brings me to a movie I saw about the Gita, Gita. It has a very long name. It's a book it was mentioned to me in college. However, it was only mentioned as a book, as an old book. And today or yesterday it was mentioned to me as a religious book, or rather the word was a book of answers. So I saw a movie that was just in part 2 of the YouTube video. I saw that part. It was just mostly two men talking. One was Krishna, which was a god, talking to a king. And Krishna is telling telling the king that the king has to go to war against his own family or relatives. And I saw them talking and talking, and I enjoyed it. One was wearing gold, the other one, I believe, was wearing silver. They were both handsome men. One was encouraging the other to act, and the other was so appeared to be sad that he would have to fight his own relatives. And when I read the comments, I understood something. This was a movie that was made, however, it was really talking about how we as humans, or a single man, let's just say a man, he has to declare war against the bad personality that he may have inside him. Like we have good and evil inside us. We choose to do good or to do evil. And so this was a good movie because the enemies of this king were his relatives. But what it meant was that he was at war against himself, against the members of his body. For men, it's usually lust or adultery or something to do with the penises. That's very difficult to control for most men. And for others, it would be stealing and things like that. But what I'm saying is, Krishna says to the king, "You are an archer." And that tells me that we have to guard our thoughts. As the archer fights from far away, once our thoughts, if we dwell on them, then we act and commit a sin usually. If we have bad thoughts, we must neutralize our bad thoughts. So I enjoyed this movie, and I will continue to study it because the information, it was explained so differently. Another topic was how there are two types of men. Some are thinkers and others are doers. The doers are so busy doing that sometimes they don't think. And the thinkers are so busy thinking that sometimes they don't take action. All right. So I want to be a man that stands for something. Like Gandhi, like John Brown. I've got to stand for something. I am very careful in this house that I live in because I don't have money, and if my wife gets angry enough, she could A, throw me out, divorce me and stuff. B, she could just incarcerate me again, which is really something that irritates me because I love my freedom and I love being home with my son. And now that my daughter is being 2% respectful, she's up from 1% to 2%, then I'm having more fun here at home. In fact, even my wife has started to give me my marital due, which is, it makes life easier. It really does. I don't know how the Catholic men, the priests, don't get married. I really don't understand that. I think that Perhaps part of the becoming a priest is to have a ceremony to cut off the testicles, because I just don't understand how a man can live without a woman. All right. Well, thank you for listening. I will. I did like the video. I'm gonna see if I can find it, and I want to post it on Facebook right now. Or, yeah, post a video about the Gita, Krishna and the king, and they have these talks and so on. All right, be better than I am. See you in the next video.